this video, we're going to talk about consonance and dissonance in second species. So you'll recall that in first species, there was no use of dissonance whatsoever. There are no melodic leaps by dissonant intervals. There are no vertical dissonances between the two voices. Now, the rule about melodic leaps will remain in force for all species. In species counterpoint, we're never going to leap by a dissonant interval within one voice. However, we are going to introduce, and we're starting in second species, to introduce various forms of vertical dissonance. And there's only one kind allowed in second species. We see it right here. It's the passing tone, familiar from harmony. I've circled my dissonant intervals. That's a good thing to do in general because you want to be sensitive to that dissonance. Dissonance, as I'll talk a little bit more about in class, dissonance used to be a much bigger deal than it is in much of today's music, and it was treated with great sensitivity. You're always very conscious of a dissonance. A dissonance is something exciting, but it needs to be kept under control. It has the potential to make things, introduce chaos. So here we go. So this perfect fourth, you'll recall, acoustically consonant, but an unstable interval in the Western tonal system. It sounds like it wants to go somewhere else, maybe here. It's not a stable interval. So, we move through that dissonant note as a passing tone. So as you know, passing tones are approached by step and left by step in the same direction. In second species, they will always be surrounded by two consonances. They will always occur only on a weak beat. Dissonances on a strong beat are much more salient. They pop out to our ear. It's a way of kind of brushing the dissonance under the rug in a certain sense, that we put it on the weak beat. So dissonances on the weak beat, only the passing tone. Now there's one thing to be careful of, or one easy way to check. If you've circled all your dissonances, take a quick glance when you're checking over your work. Make sure that you only approach and leave dissonance by step. That'll be a general principle for most of our species, with a few little exceptions. You'll need a further requirement to that in second species, because suppose, for example, that we had a different cantus firmus, which might allow us to do this. We go down to the C here. If we could have gone back to the A, that's approaching dissonance by step, leaving dissonance by step. But that's a neighbor tone, not a passing tone. Dissonant neighbor tones are not allowed in second species. So make sure that your dissonant stepwise tones on the weak beat are all passing tones.